It's just been over 3 years now that Rocksteady's latest main installment, Batman Arkham Knight, was added to the Arkhamverse. Looking back through all the Batman Arkham games, there are many memories, good and bad, of each game. So in this video we will sit down and rank the Arkham games and give our opinions on which Batman Arkham game we think is the best and why we rank it higher than the others. This list only includes the core Batman games, so without further ado, let's get started.
Looking at number 4, the worst Batman Arkham game in this series would have to go to Batman Arkham Origins. It was released in 2013, and as it's not a bad game, it was produced by a separate company called WB Montreal, which had not previously worked on a Batman title before. Batman Arkham Origins gives some good things to offer, like refined combat, making gameplay smoother. It also gave some interesting stories from the early years of the new Cape Crusader, showing off Batman's progression in his fighting ways. You can notice he's more violent and brutal early on.
What is that? Behind you!
Oh, come on. Expect me to fall for that? I mean, try something original. Yeah! Back off!
No! Stay away! No!
Joker's backstory is also touched on as well, such as how the Joker and Dr. Harlan Quinzel first meet, and most importantly, it shows the beginning of the ongoing rivalry between Batman and the Joker. On top of all that, Batman Arkham Origins offers a multiplayer experience which is the only multiplayer we can get from the Batman Arkham games. However, Batman Arkham Origins does some bad thing as well, giving us reused maps with some add-ons. Throughout the city you can spot a lot of areas originally used from the previous game, Batman Arkham City, just retouched up with some snow. Traversing the map is also an issue. Batman feels stiff and not as mobile, unlike the other games. Using the grappling tool in Batman Arkham Origins is very bad. You have to be right in front of the platform to get over it. It usually doesn't give enough time for you to continue gliding, making you start all over, which is very frustrating.
It was released 3 years ago and it's number 3 on our list. Batman Arkham Knight is the most recent Batman experience we can get. Batman Arkham Knight is the most diverse of all the Arkhamverse. There is dozens of hours of gameplay available from Arkham Knight. There's a massive story told throughout the game and a wide amount of side missions in the game as well.
So,
You hear that, Nightwing? We're gonna keep you alive for a little bit longer.
Batman Arkham Knight gives us the true Batman experience, roaming the streets with your Batmobile stopping crime. Arkham Knight also brings back fan favourite characters like Catwoman, Robin, Joker, Scarecrow and many more, as well as new characters that we have never seen before, including Professor Pig, Man-Bat and more. Knight also brings a polished look to Gotham, almost making the game immersive alongside the combat system, allowing smooth, free flows whenever you're in a fight. Arkham Knight ties the amazing trilogy up, with Batman being found out as billionaire Bruce Wayne and the Wayne Mansion getting blowing up to cover his tracks. However, Knight does offer one huge problem: repetition. This is seen many times. The constant tank battles, chasing down APC after APC, and shutting down militia road units again and again. This allows the story to drive forward, but doesn't offer anything new to the player. It feels like the game was forcing us to use the Batmobile. Yes, they may change the environment and the threat, but it is still the same old battle. This really drives away from the whole point of being a detective and using stealth and combat to win the fight. And it makes it feel a bit more like a shooting game than a Batman game. But it does offer great chase sequences and some memorable moments.
Where's Tim? Is he okay?
I left him at the movie studios. He's fine.
Coming in at number 2 spot may surprise you. It's the second installment in the series, Batman Arkham City. Batman Arkham City has hours of action-packed, immersive, and intense gameplay for the players to enjoy. Arkham City also improves on things like storytelling and combat. The city is vast with lots of things to do. The amazing story is told throughout the game, tons of cool side missions hidden throughout the map, every inch of the city has riddles and secrets within them.
Arkham City. Why would he come here? You guys just need to chill the hell out. It's Batman! What the hell?
Sorry to disappoint.
In Batman Arkham City, you can also play as Catwoman. Throughout the story, the game puts you in Catwoman's shoes, and you get to see how Batman and her paths cross. This allows you to experience the game a different way than normal. Her combat is different, and the way she traverses the map is different too. The city is sectioned off with the main villain ruling over that one part of the city. Joker has his factory, Penguin has his museum, Mr. Freeze has the GPCD, and the League of Assassins is underground in Wonder City. The story picks up after the events in Arkham Asylum, and Joker is sick from the Titan he injected himself with. In order for him to find help, he gives Batman some of his toxic blood, and hopes Batman can find a cure. Batman does everything in his power to find a cure for himself and Joker. As the game continues, you can notice goons around the map saying that Joker's health isn't good. As Batman finds a cure and helps himself, Joker shoots himself in the foot by fighting Batman and destroying his half of the cure. The game ends with an emotional scene of the Joker smiling as he dies so close from saving himself with the cure. The DLC also allows us to follow up more action-packed gameplay with Harley Quinn being the main villain, and seeing how she runs everything after Joker's death.
Wish somebody would. This stuff is killing me.
Why should I?
Leaving us with number 1, Batman Arkham Asylum. Spectacular yet groundbreaking introduction to the most loved superhero video games of all time. This game took the whole world by surprise, and there are many reasons for this. The first was the story. The story was magnificent, and it was something that we had never really seen before, while it had many aspects of Batman's best comics, like The Long Halloween and more. Asylum was also a great experience for the fans, as it allowed Batman fans to roam around in an open world which was littered with Easter eggs and nods to the expansive Batman villain roster and the even larger Batman comic universe. This gave fans a sense of freedom, as many Batman games before this restricted itself to one area. The amount of detail added to the buildings, such as the botanical gardens, the northern, eastern, southern and western areas of the island, and the extensive amount of buildings is very impressive. The game also provided some of the best boss battles to ever appear in a video game, such as the intense Killer Croc battle, the insane Bane boss fight, and we cannot forget one of the best parts about Asylum, the Scarecrow missions. These missions are one of the most famous and beloved things about the game, as like the Scarecrow would say, it brought fear to the players as you needed to get around the whole map without being seen while fighting off undead skeletons.
This made the player feel like they were really getting infected by the fear toxin, and allowed us to dive deeper into the world of Batman. Batman Arkham Asylum also had a very unique art style to it. They made the HUD look cartoony, further adding to the game's amazing detail. The story ends up with an original boss fight where Joker injects himself with his own Titan formula to fight Batman to the death. This is also an important part to the Arkhamverse because this sets up for Arkham City. Thank you everyone for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to me, both Wolfington and Ginja Ninja. Until then, guys, I'll see you then. Peace out.
Hey, Sharpie. Love what you've done with the place.
That's Warden Shop to you. Bowles!
Yo, Frankie, how's the wife and kids? You miss me?
Shut it, clown! A lot of people here really want to talk to you.
Really? I don't mind walking. Not so tight, boys. You'll crease the suit.
Get that filthy degenerate out of here.
Warden, something's not right. I'm going with him.